Welcome to the Free Your Spirit podcast. My name is Louise Wilson. I'm a mystic, healer, entrepreneur, and business coach, and I am obsessed with helping you open up the lines of communication with your spirit so that you can receive the wisdom, the guidance, the clarity, and confidence you need to reach your big goals and dreams. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 10 of the Free Your Spirit podcast. In this week's episode, we're actually going to be diving into the whole notion of how if you want to shift, then it's important to shed. It's important to let go, to let in. And it's important for a number of reasons. I'm going to dive into all of this, but especially with regard to manifestation. As I promised last week, we'll dive more into the science behind the miracles of manifestation. But I just want to kind of lay the foundation to that. So I thought it'd be great to open with a really beautiful parable about the businessman and the Zen master. So a businessman, he traveled a long way to go to meet the Zen master because he wanted to become enlightened. And he sat with the Zen master, and the Zen master said, let's have a cup of tea. And the businessman was a little bit irritable. He had a bit of an attitude, but the Zen master was very gracious, and he started to pour this cup of tea. And as he was pouring and the teacup filled, once it was full, he just continued to pour. And now the tea's like spilling over onto the floor, splashing the businessman's very fancy suit. And he says, stop, right? And the Zen master says to him, this cup of tea, this teacup is like your mind. And if you want to become enlightened, you need to empty your mind in order to allow new ideas in. So, go away and come back when your mind is empty. And so I love this parable. And as I'm sharing it, it sort of takes me back in time to when I was 20 years old and I was at university and I was studying for my final exams. And I spent hours and hours and hours in the library, working all hours, every hour I had, because I struggled at school, and I sort of carried with me this belief that as long as I worked hard and I had plenty of time, that I could succeed. And of course, that was a very broken belief. And I would go down next door. There was a pub next door, and I'd see all my peers in the pub, having a beer, enjoying themselves. And meanwhile, I'm sweating it out in the library. And of course, when I went into the exam, I'd crammed my brain so much that it was just like mush. I just couldn't think straight. And so thinking about this parable, it took me back to that point in my life. And also tying back to that belief that I was carrying around with me, that I had to hustle, work hard and be miserable. Work hard and just everybody else enjoying themselves. And that belief wasn't serving me. And I carried it with me for decades, thinking that I had to work super, super hard. So if I was to get the results that I wanted. And so you can see how when we want to make a shift, it's important to look at our beliefs. Do they serve us? Do we feel that we have to hustle hard, work hard to get the results that we want in our lives? So it's about letting go at a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level. So the mental is all of the thoughts and the beliefs that don't serve us, but then we have emotions, right? And we need to look at those for a number of reasons, because we know that our emotions are the language of the universe. And so understanding how that works, and I will get into that a little bit more in the podcast, is really important from a manifestation perspective. But also when we have difficult emotions, that can impact our body. I mean, studies have been done and scientific studies show that our emotions impact our DNA. So the emotions of love and joy relaxes the DNA, and then the emotions of anger and resentment, they can contract the DNA. So you can see how our emotions are now impacting us at a deep cellular level. So it's not only important to work on those disempowering emotions that are impacting our ability to manifest, but it's also our emotions are impacting us at a physical level. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is that as we experience things in our lives, and then it triggers those beliefs and emotions, we can also then, because we're energetic beings, that trauma can become stuck in our energy body, in our energy field, and we're packing that around with us. That's a heavy weight to carry too. So you can see how to really shift how we can and create space, peace and joy in our lives, and being able to manifest. It's so important to do this work at a mental, emotional, spiritual and physical level, to release and let go, to let in. And also, when you think about it, just from an energetic and physical perspective, it's so important to keep us healthy and whole. But coming back to the whole issue of manifestation, and I talked in our last podcast episode about the science of miracles, and we know, and it's been proven in science that it's our feelings, our emotions and our feelings is how we speak to the matrix of energy, to the field of energy around us, to the universe around us. That's how we communicate with the universe, and science shows that this field of intelligence that's out there, this matrix of energy, responds, reacts, and mirrors our feelings. So those feelings, what we feel inside of us, we're actually attracting into our lives. So this is why, if you're wanting to manifest and you're doing the work, trying to reprogram your mind with positive affirmations, that's at a surface level. It's important, yes, but you need to do the work at a deep subconscious level to really start to shift and let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you, that's keeping you stuck, that's continuing to attract behaviors, patterns into your life, keeping you on that merry-go-round of emotional patterns and behaviors that are playing out and attracting these situations, people, events into your life that mirror those emotions and beliefs that you currently hold. So that's why it's important for us to do this work at that level. So when we want to make a shift and change, we have to do it at an identity level. We really have to start shedding the beliefs at that level, stepping more into, and as we do this, creating space to step in more into the person that we want to be. We need to be that person. And since we know that the universe mirrors and reflects everything that we think and feel, you can see how we need to start showing up in our lives in a whole new way. If we want a different kind of life and different outcomes, then we have to be a different person and take the actions of that future person to be able to manifest that lifestyle. So knowing that emotions, coming back to the whole thing of emotions, knowing that emotions are key in this process, I think I'll post in the show notes an energetic frequency chart so you can start to do this work now, to notice where you're at on that emotional scale on a day-to-day basis as you go through your life. What are the emotions that you're feeling? Because we know that the frequency of shame is way down at the bottom of that emotional chart. It vibrates at 20. So you can see if you're feeling guilt and shame, which I think we all can get stuck in that. That's a very low frequency to be operating at, whereas joy, you're operating at a frequency of 540. So you can see how just paying attention to where your emotions are going on a daily basis and to do a little inventory. And as you do that, you can actually pay attention to what triggers you. There's a beautiful exercise where you can look at where your energy goes up and where your energy goes down. So what is juicing your energy on a day-to-day basis? As you go through your day, who are the people and the situations that bring your vibration up, that make you feel good, right? And noticing that and then looking for ways to amplify that, to spend more time, to hang out with those people more, to create more of that in your life, the juicing of your energy, to get your vibration up. And then paying attention to where your energy is being zapped. Who zaps you? What kind of situations are zapping your energy? What's bringing your vibe down? Like a lot of people joke about how the hippies had it right when it was like, this isn't the right vibe, man. You know, it's so true, right? You have to notice the vibe, where you're at, how you're feeling. Because what you're feeling is what you're putting out into the world, out into that matrix of energy to the universe, and it's being and will always be mirrored back to you. You can also, as I said, think about doing the work at deeper levels, at that belief level, emotional level. Doing the exploration, as I've said before, is the work I love to do at a present life, past life, and ancestral level to start to understand, you know, where these beliefs come from, emotions come from, challenging events that have happened in your life, so you can start to do the work to heal that and to let it go. As you do this work, you'll find that you'll feel so much more calm, so much more grounded. You're creating space in your life. You're just way more self-aware. You know, you feel very grounded in who you know yourself to be. You start to operate from that, you know, deeply powerful, aligned, soulful place and space inside of you. And, you know, when you're operating from that place, other people's stuff, other people's, and I love this, my dad used to call it SH1T, other people's SH1T isn't going to affect you in the same way because it's not going to trigger you, because you're way more grounded. You're really strong, have a very strong sense of self, who you are. You feel confident. You can show up really powerfully in a very confident and empowered way. And obviously too, the more you're showing up like that, being the person that you want to be, to attract the things that you want to have in your life, you are creating space for yourself to do that. So there you have it. There are obviously other techniques you can do on a day-to-day basis. I love to do, in my morning routine, I do a little bit of EFT tapping to sort of set the space for my day. I do shaking. I crank the tunes and I just shake out stuff from my energetic field to get me pumped up and revved and ready to go for the day. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'm so excited because over the past few weeks, 2 weeks actually, I've been in isolation, but it's been a powerful time for me to actually really dedicate my time to a new program that I'm working on. It isn't new in the sense that it's all of the work, the whole body of the work that I do at a present life, past life, and ancestral level, and also working with your spirit in your dream, in your dreams. I'm actually bringing all of these together under the umbrella of a very powerful program called Freedom Now, Awaken and Unleash Your Spiritual Superpowers. But again, it's creating that beautiful, powerful space to actually look beneath the surface, to do the work, to let go of all the stuff, the beliefs and behaviors that are keeping one stuck in life, keeping you stuck and playing small, so that you can really start to remove those hidden blocks so that you can manifest the life that you truly desire. I'm super excited about this program in particular. It's been so much fun having the space and time in isolation to work on this. And if it's resonating for you, landing for you, you just need to head on over to my website at www.louise-wilson.com, and you can find all of the details there on my Work With Me page. Alrighty folks, hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Sending so much love and blessings to you, and I shall see you in the next episode. Bye for now.